Born into slavery in 1848 and freed at 17, Robert Lemons faced a world of uncertainty. Lemons developed a unique bond with mustangs, living among them to gain their trust. His gentle methods stood out in a harsh world. Unlike others, Lemons rode the lead stallion to guide herds peacefully into corrals, becoming a legend in mustanging. By age 22, he earned the equivalent of $20,000 with his unique method. By age 40, Lemons owned 1,200 acres near Carrizo Springs, Texas. Lemons helped shape Carrizo Springs by clearing land for cattle grazing, boosting the local economy. Married to Barbarita Rosales, their interracial union faced legal challenges. Their children were denied school access due to racial prejudice. Despite the harsh treatment, he was known for his generosity to neighbors of all races, even through the Great Depression. Highly respected until his passing at the age of 99, from slave to gentleman rancher, Bob Lemons remains the greatest mustanger who ever lived. Being born into slavery, yet daring to dream of freedom. Meet Robert Smalls, a man who turned that dream into reality. Desperate to buy his family's freedom, Smalls faced an impossible $800 price. With only $100 saved, he knew it would take decades. As a skilled wheelman on the CSS Planter, Smalls knew the ship's routes and signals. He devised a daring plan. When the white crew left for the night, he put on the captain's uniform and straw hat, mimicking his movements to sneak past Confederate checkpoints to Fort Sumter. His escape rescued his family and other enslaved crew members and their families. Smalls' escape delivered not only his family but also crucial Confederate codes and artillery to the Union. His intelligence led to the capture of Coles Island without a fight. With prize money from capturing the ship, he bought businesses and his former master's house, instrumental in establishing South Carolina's Republican Party. Smalls served 5 terms in Congress, focusing on uplifting black communities through education and civil rights. Robert Reed Church was born in 1839 in Mississippi to a white steamboat captain and an enslaved black seamstress. Despite being born into slavery, he worked as a cabin boy on his father's steamboat where he gained invaluable business skills. He survived a steamboat sinking in 1855. Then, during the Civil War, worked on a Union steamer. After the war, Church settled in Memphis, opening a saloon and investing in real estate. He seized opportunities during the yellow fever epidemic, buying properties at depressed prices. During the Memphis race riot of 1866, Church was shot while defending his property from a white mob. Undeterred, he vowed to stay in Memphis and rebuild. As one of the South's first black millionaires, during the Panic of 1907, he stopped a run on his bank by displaying stacks of money in the windows. He invested in his community by building Church's Park and Auditorium, a cultural hub for African Americans. Highly respected, Robert Reed Church left a legacy of empowerment for future generations. Mary McLeod Bethune rose from the cotton fields of South Carolina to the halls of the White House. Mary was born in 1875, the 15th of 17 children to former slaves. By age 9, Bethune could pick 250 pounds of cotton a day. At age 11, she attended school for the first time, walking 5 miles each way, fueled by her strong desire for an education. In 1904, she founded a school for African American girls with just $1.50. To raise funds, she and her students sold pies and homemade ice cream. Her school grew into Bethune-Cookman University. She was an advisor to multiple U.S. presidents on minority affairs, and founded the National Council of Negro Women in 1935, empowering the fight for civil rights and social equality. Charles Richard Patterson was born into slavery in Virginia in 1833. Escaping to Ohio, he became a skilled blacksmith, laying the groundwork for a future family legacy. In 1873, Patterson partnered with J.P. Lowe to start a carriage business. By 1893, he bought out Lowe's share, becoming the sole owner of C.R. Patterson and Sons, employing an integrated workforce of 35 to 50 craftsmen. After Charles's passing in 1910, his son Frederick took over. With vision and determination, Frederick transitioned the company from carriages to automobiles, launching the Patterson Greenfield car in 1915. As the automobile industry evolved, the company shifted focus to bus and truck manufacturing, securing contracts with school boards and transit companies across the Midwest. Frederick's son, Postel Patterson, continued the family tradition into the Great Depression, until industry changes and discriminatory banking practices left them without access to necessary financing. Still, their legacy remains an inspiration. Meet Francis Johnson, born in 1792 in Philadelphia, a musical genius who would become the father of the American pop concert. His compositions ranged from lively cotillions to elegant waltzes, setting the stage for a new era in music. In a racially divided America, Johnson faced prejudice at every turn. Yet, he found his voice through music, performing at balls and social events where his talent could not be ignored. Johnson shattered norms by publishing sheet music and leading one of America's first racially integrated bands. In 1837, he led a groundbreaking European tour. Performing for Queen Victoria at Buckingham Palace, he dazzled the audience with his cornet solos. She was so impressed she gifted Johnson a silver bugle. Back in America, Johnson faced a hostile mob in St. Louis, but stood firm with his band, using music to resist racism and promote unity. Francis Johnson was the first American to advertise his concerts by introducing playbills and drawing large integrated crowds to his Philadelphia Promenade events, creating the first American pop concert. Born into slavery in 1848, Susie King Taylor escaped at age 14 with her uncle to a Union gunboat during the Civil War. This daring move marked the beginning of her incredible journey. Despite laws against educating African Americans, Susie learned to read and write in secret schools. Her literacy became a powerful tool for teaching others. She served as an unpaid nurse for the 33rd U.S. Colored Troops, tending to wounded soldiers, and also taught many soldiers to read and write. On St. Simon's Island, Susie opened a school for children. She taught black children by day and adults by night, breaking barriers in education. After the war, Susie moved to Savannah with her husband Sergeant Edward King and started a school for freed children. Despite personal losses, she continued her mission to educate. Her memoirs, published in 1902, are the only first-hand account of Civil War experiences by a black woman. Her story is one of courage and relentless dedication to helping others. Born in 1892, Bessie Coleman was inspired by her brother's tales of women pilots he encountered while serving in World War I. Bessie Coleman was inspired by Marcus Garvey's vision of black empowerment and self-reliance. Garvey believed that mastering aviation could uplift the African American community. Working as a manicurist, Bessie met Robert Abbott, publisher of the Chicago Defender. Recognizing the impact of a black woman pilot, Abbott helped secure financial backing for her training. Despite facing rejection from American flight schools, she learned French and traveled to France, becoming the first American woman to earn an international pilot's license 2 years before Amelia Earhart. With no commercial opportunities, Coleman performed thrilling stunts across the U.S. to fund her flight school for black Americans. Her fame allowed her to refuse to perform for segregated audiences. Bessie's courage inspired her friend Josephine Baker to earn her pilot's license and serve as a sub-lieutenant in the French Air Force. Tragically, Bessie Coleman passed away in a plane crash, risking it all to empower her people. In pre-Civil War Philadelphia, amidst societal challenges, a free black man was about to transform the ice cream industry. Meet Augustus Jackson, a former White House chef and pioneering entrepreneur, known as the father of ice cream. Starting at age 9, Jackson served Presidents Monroe, Adams, and Jackson for 20 years, mastering desserts and experimenting with recipes. He innovated with eggless recipes and salt for better texture, making ice cream more stable and accessible to all. After leaving the White House, Jackson opened a catering business in Philadelphia. He created flavors like strawberry and mint, selling tins for $1 a quart to black-owned parlors, empowering them financially. Becoming one of Philadelphia's wealthiest men, Jackson's techniques still influence how ice cream is made today.